Okay, let's finalize this session. We've been working at this for a little while, and as I kind of described in the notes for this week, is that you're to grab one of those images of yours, go through the Photoshop techniques we've covered, use this process as a guide, and take it as far as you can in the few hours or 3 hours that you have to put into this process. And that's roughly where we are now, is about 3 hours or so, just playing, looking for ideas in that one altered image and new interpretation. This is pretty good, but it's a little overly tight. So what I'm going to do is bring back one of the images that I worked on earlier from group 4, and I've just dropped it in front and lowered the opacity and put it on soft light just to see what I can get out of there that's new and interesting. I prefer this looseness, so we're going to leave it like that. Now I'm just going to do one more play. This was sort of a test to see if I like that, and I think I'm going to toss it. Again, just got to make some decisions quickly about direction. I'm going to do a new layer, and I'm just going to add a few touches to bring out elements that I see here that I think can sort of enhance what this sort of vision is for this character. Now I know early we had taken away that jaw element, but I think I'm going to bring it back, but not as a tooth element. I think this is going to become like a little skin flap or lower jaw, lower lip perhaps, the suggestion here. And I'm going to let that blend off because I think it can work, and I'll leave that impression here, and I want to bring a bit of that shadow forward here as well, and this. Now we have the suggestion of almost two types of mouths going on there, and I'd like that to go away because I like the lower, the jaw is up, his face is up, he's got a bigger jaw, not necessarily heroic, but there's some attitude in that posture or that's being suggested by that. So I want to get rid of this, but I want to be careful how much, because it does, in my mind, kind of delineate the difference between the lower jaw and the lower lip and the chin here. So I don't want to go crazy and lose something that looked like it could work before. So we'll just shadow the lower part, highlight the top a little, and I think we'll blend off some of that in the center just to give us a sense that they are from the same, they're on the same. You know what, I want to put a little bit of a break there too. There we go. Pardon me. There. And that's working. There we go. Got some attitude. Some nice color going on. Alright, I think I'm going to leave it there. There's something about that I am extremely excited about. We're going to stop there. And let's duplicate these layers. Select OK. Let's take the lower ones again and Control G. We'll group that into another group. And then let's collapse these three. Now, to finish this off a little bit, we're going to throw a bit of a background on it. We're not going to go crazy. The purpose is the image, and our focus is here in the center. We can vignette this a little with some color or something like that, but here's a technique that I like to use, and it may work for you in developing some depth to the image. Let's go to our I keep a photo library of lots of stuff, particularly metal that I like, and I have a few images. I mean, I really like this. The coppers really play well with those warm colors, but let's find a non-copyrighted image that we can use. I have the advantage of being in a scenic shop, and the guys in the back create some fantastic textures and reproductions, so we're able to get a lot of images. Now if you don't have the access to scenic artists, you can create these textures yourself as paintings, photographs of concrete, things yourself, but I do encourage you that you do, as we've started to do in this course, take photographs of elements, images, textures, and patterns that you feel work for you and that have a bit of interest. Let's open that and see if I can use it. Yeah, I can use that one. Let's go here, throw it in my image, close that, and let's go back and let's just create a bit of some interest back here. Stretch this right out, and let's accept that. Let's go through our filter layer, our adjustment layers, and let's find something that works for us. There's a few there that are possible. Let's Control I this image and just reverse the colorations in it. I'm not really paying attention to the center of the image. I want to see what I can get out of this. Alright, you know what? That's actually pretty cool. Let's go to Filter, Blur, and Gaussian Blur, and let's just take that down a bunch. I'll drop this in the background of him a little bit. About 16. Select OK. No, needs more. Select OK. Alright, and let's go to our erase layer. Let's turn the opacity down on that a little bit so we can just play here. Try some more. Let's roll that through again and see if there's something else that works a little better. No, that might not be the image. Let's try that again. That is a wee texture. Let's close that and find another one. It's going to be tiny too, but let's see what it looks like when we get this. Get this over here. Oh yes, it's a wee texture. Let's do a motion blur vertically. Set this to soft light. That motion blur might make this a little bit hard to look at. There's some fun going on there. Alright, and let's leave the let's leave a little bit of this over the face as well. Let's drop this down to 11. We're just going to start just pulling a little bit of away from the areas where we want some more focus. This here, and then we'll let the outside deal with the outside. I kind of like this. It's working out nicely. Our texture we used is working well. I think that's as far as we'll go. And let's add another layer and just darken up some areas just in behind him here. Let's go to gradient. Let's choose the darkest color on the palette. Do that over transparency, and let's just get a bit of Control D that, and then let's take the opacity down a little bit, just play with a little bit of darkness, and let's erase some of this out. At 11% will take a while to take those edges off, but it's all right. Let's give the hint a little bit of light behind him. And on this layer we can again go to the darkest element on the page and change over to a soft round. Leave the opacity at 17, and let's just in a few spots here just to bring a little bit of focus to the center of the page. Turn your opacity down, better to go slow. Adds a nice quality. You know what, I'm also going to take that one. I'm going to go filter, artistic, and just run paint daubs on that as an operation and see what I can get. Let's turn our brush size up. If we can get that background just to read a little differently. Sort of break the blur a little bit. Increase the sharpness. Let's select OK. And we'll apply that paint daubs operation to the layer and see what it looks like. A little bit different, and I think that is pretty cool. I am going to do a bit of erasing here, just to clean that out a little. I'm just going to slide this up and see whether it's worthwhile to do cropping. I'm just using the top of the screen as an indicator, and I kind of like that. You know what? We're going to crop this out, and we're going to call it done. So we'll just take it to that area and call it crop it. Alright, so let's just save that and we're done here. In our next section, we're going to go over the image step by step and kind of break down some of the creative reasoning choices that I was making from the start of the project to the finish, and then I'd like to see you guys finish your own project. Spend about 2 or 3 hours, as I did, just bringing an example of one of your images through the entire process, and I think you'll be excited by the results.